Welcome to Rockstar Math. I am Amy, your master tutor. Today we're just going to be talking about algebra as a concept. We're not going to be getting into a lot of nitty-gritty details. There'll be plenty of videos for that. What I want to talk about is like why letters are coming into math, what algebra is, and prepare you for what you're going to learn in this class. So in order to do that, first of all, I want to just cover a couple of things that you should be very comfortable with before going into Algebra 1. Number one is fractions. So all of your math to this point has been what we really call arithmetic. Okay, it's all numbers. It's order of operations, fractions, decimals, maybe some exponents. And you just do all the operations, meaning add, multiply, power, whatever it might be, and then you come up with some sort of answer. Well, in algebra, it's a little bit different because we have letters for the numbers where we don't know their values. And we want to be able to still do these operations. We still want to be able to add, subtract, divide, multiply, even when we don't know what the number is, and that gets a little tricky. So that's, first of all, why there's letters in your math now, is because those are unknown numbers. We call them unknown variables. Variable implies that they vary in value. That's true. Sometimes, your variable might just be one number, and you got to figure out what that is. Okay, so the high level, big picture, what you're going to be doing in algebra class is learning how to do these operations, add, subtract, multiply, divide, parentheses, all of that stuff. However, you're going to do it with letters. For example, something like 3x plus 2 might be on your page. And you're going to be able to add that to other things. So what you're going to need to know, and let's just get into a couple of terms here. Now, for order of operations, first of all, if you understand PEMDAS as 6 steps, you should watch my video on PEMDAS and make sure you understand how to do that as a 4-step process, not a 6-step process. Okay, so in algebra, instead of seeing something with just operations such as 3 divided by 2 times 2 plus 1, all numbers, no problem. You just use your order of operations, you get to the answer. Okay, so that's before algebra. With algebra, you might have something like 3 divided by 2 times x plus 1, and now there's this mysterious x in there. So can I add that to 1? Is that 1x? Is it 1? How do you write and how do you work with these letters is what the whole thing is about. Okay, so you're going to learn when you can add things with letters and when you can't. For example, you can take 2x plus 3x and you would get 5x. But 2x times 3x is 6x. So those are the type of rules you'll be learning. When can I add and when can I not? For example, 2x plus 3x squared, you can't add. They are not like terms. Okay, so that's the stuff you'll be learning. When can I actually do these operations and when can't I? So in this case, this is not going to become like 5x cubed or anything like that. However, 2x times 3x squared, you can multiply. You would get 6x cubed. Okay, so don't expect you to know all that, but that's what you're going to be learning is when can I add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And not only are you going to be working with letters, you'll be working with exponents. You'll have sometimes the exponent will be, your variable will be the exponent. Sometimes you'll have square roots with letters inside. So can I add the square root of x plus the square root of x? You'll find out in Algebra 1. Things like that. So that's the nature of the course is we still are basically doing our operations, but you're going to be learning a lot about when to do that. You're going to hear terms like terms, statements, quadratics, linear. There's a lot of terminology. And my big tip for being a successful math student is to learn the language. Learn the language and notation. Okay, so for example, this is 2 to the x power here. Okay, this is 3x squared. Now, I've had students read this as 3x2. Now, if you say 3x2 and I say 3x squared as your teacher, we're not going to be on the same page when I'm talking in front of class and then you're not going to be understanding what I'm saying. It's just going to be like, wah, 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 wah. I don't understand. I look at it and I'm reading something different. So practice reading your math out loud by yourself. Practice the notation and make sure you understand all of the subscripts, superscripts, all of the little parentheses, and how to read all of that. For example, 3 divided by 2 times the sum of x plus 1 is how that's read. So you should be able to read that exactly the same. 3 divided by 2 times the sum of x plus 1. So that's what I mean by learning the language of math, be able to read all of this page the same way I would be able to read it, be on the same page as your teacher, and be prepared to do math with letters.